We continue to preview the 2025 college volleyball season. Our stop today is Helena, Montana, as we get to visit with the head volleyball coach for the Carroll Saints, Coach Maureen Boyle, heading into her 21st season. Coach, there's a lot to be said about that, but we can talk about that over the course of our opportunity to visit today. Let's look really quickly at 2024. 17-13 overall, the record. 10-1 in the month of August. Things changed a little bit after that. Frontier Conference, I know, is a tough conference, and 7-12 for the remainder of the season. Tell us a little bit about 2024.
After a really, really tough 2023, 2024 was really successful for us. We played a lot of really young kids in 23, and so the success that we found in 24 really propelled the girls coming back in the program, gave them some confidence. I think they found their footing as sophomores for the most part, because we had a lot of sophomores playing. I think, although we didn't finish the season the way that we started the season, our conference has such parity that on any night, anybody can be anybody. One can win out, but when it was six could also beat one on any night. So the parity in our conference really is crazy, and we're just adding to that as we add these teams in coming up. I was really proud of the way that they responded in 24. Again, that all stems back to what happened in 23 with a real high injury-laden season, mostly with things out of our control. And it wasn't sprained ankles and such. It was the big stuff. And so I'm really looking forward to 2025, as are those coming back.
Coach, I wanted to address something that you mentioned really quickly there, and that's the Frontier Conference, expansion to the conference in 25-26. And I think one of the biggest things about that, from your perspective, at least volleyball-wise, I know it's going to affect all of the sports a little bit differently, but volleyball, you all played a schedule with not just a double round robin, more of a triple round robin. I mean, you played the same teams 3 times, and that was before the conference tournament. So talk about what that means in not having to play the same teams at least 3 times. I mean, you may hit a team or two twice, but not the same teams 3 times.
Yeah, I think that when you play a team that many times, you tend to know what the habits are and what the tendencies are of those on the other team. But you also have this inclination of what's going to happen before it happens. And, sometimes going into those games, you have a idea that you're going to win, or you're going to, win in 3, and you might lose in 5. You might lose in 3. I mean, the parity just was incredible, but to have to play each other 3 times really was grueling. And then the conference tournament came, and you had to play yet again. And nobody else has to do that. It's crazy. I mean, you do everything you can in your schedule to go play somebody else. But we can't play everybody else enough times to get rid of what it feels like to play each other in our conference 3 times.
One of the players, you have a number of players coming back. You were talking about the youth from 23, now the experience in 24, and I know it's going to be a positive getting a lot of those players back in 25. One of the players, though, you won't have back, Julia Carr, an All-American, one of a couple of All-Americans on that roster last year, an All-American, Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. And, Coach, 840 digs, that's a pretty big number. You put it in perspective of 7 digs per set, which is just, it sounds like I'm making that up. So tell me, am I making that up, or did she really do that?
No, she really did that. And she's been a volleyball junkie her whole life. Ironically, her high school coach played for me here at Carroll, and she came here knowing that it was, we were expecting a lot from her. And I think she was on the court from her freshman year on. She got to experience a 5th year due to COVID, and she's not done yet, because she gets yet that extra year to go play Division I, and she's going to go play out at Oral Roberts. So Julia will be missed significantly, not just at Carroll. I think people will miss her around the league. She's a spark plug. She plays the game the right way. All she wants to do is win, but she wants to do it the right way. And so she's the cheerleader, she's the leader, she's the stud, and I will miss her a ton.
We're visiting now with Coach Maureen Boyle from Carroll here on Midwest Sportsnet, and I encourage you, please take the time to like this video and subscribe to the channel. That always helps. We enjoy talking about small college sports and more throughout the Midwest and beyond. Coach, in your 21st year, neat you get to coach players, and then the players they coach as well too. So congratulations for that opportunity heading into decade number 3. I won't dwell on that too much, but
Nice.
I think there's a lot to be said for that, and I'm happy for your success with Carr being gone. Then who's going to help to step up and fill that role on your back line?
Interestingly enough, I think it's not going to be a single person. I think we're going to end up switching our defense just a little bit because of the experience we do have. We may put some kids in different spots. We may have a couple more 6 rotation players. But right now, a couple of defensive players that we have coming back that will be impactful in our back line are Molly O'Connor, who's a senior from Bozeman, and Nora Allen, who is going to be a junior from Great Falls. And we've got a couple of good incoming players that are going to have to vie for some playing time as well. But we may have a couple of 6 rotation players that we haven't had in the past.
Another All-American, not in 2024. You go back a couple of years, Liz Heisman was an All-American, or Heiser, excuse me. Well, Heisman has a good name to it too. Liz Heiser, an All-American in her sophomore season a couple of years ago, led the team in kills per set, led the team in blocks, and she's coming back. And obviously, not alone, she had her sister on the team last year as well, Lauren Heiser, who was second on the team in kills per set, second on the team in blocks. You get them both coming back, and I think there's more I'm hearing.
Yeah, there's more. So there's a family of 3, I'd say ladies, but they are studs. Birdie Heiser is their little sister, and she has signed to play with us as well. We'll have all 3 with us. Birdie, as an incoming freshman, has never played with her sister Liz because the spread has been too wide in years. But Liz, a couple of years ago, had a medical issue, was diagnosed with psoriatic arthritis, and so had to redshirt in her 3rd year. She came back last year, right before the conference tournament, sprained her ankle, ran into some issues, and so did not get to play in the conference tournament. So I'm sure she'll be itching to play a little bit. But this will be the first year ever that Liz and Birdie will play together. Looking forward to that. Lauren has been a stalwart for us. Her freshman year, when Liz wasn't able to play, had to step in as a freshman. She virtually played every match because we didn't have a choice, and she did a great job. And this will be her 3rd year. And so the experience we have coming back is just incredible. Really looking forward to what these girls can add, and the Heisers really will be at the helm of that.
Okay, so with all of that, we're talking about some, I imagine, some pretty solid offense. Who might be doling out the assists there?
Yeah, I have an incoming freshman in Lauren Fox, who's also from Bozeman. She's been a state tournament team setter for a few years and done a great job for Bozeman. I think she was a highly sought after player in Montana last year, and we were lucky enough to land her at Carroll. And then Jansen Carrizales, who is from Sunnyside, Washington, again, 2 years ago, had to step in as my setter, had ruptured her Achilles in the first weekend of the season. And so she and Nora Allen, who's not a setter, she was a defensive player, the 2 of them took our offense on. And so this will be Jansen's 3rd year. And I think I'm really looking forward to seeing what happens. You know, right now the thought is to run a 6-2 as an incoming freshman. It's a pretty serious load to put on their shoulders to run a 5-1, but it's looking like we might run a 6-2 to start it and see what happens with that. And between Lauren and Jansen, they will be our 2 putting up the ball for the hitters.
All right, Coach. Well, it gets underway not too long from now. I realize we're recording this the end of May, but I know it's going to get here before you know it. And I'm sure there's a lot of excitement around the program, too, with the opportunities and the possibilities that are there. Get things started in Butte, tournament there, and probably get a chance to see a lot of folks. And then you go out to Oregon, to Corbin, and Labor Day tournament there before the Frontier Conference. The revised Frontier Conference schedule gets underway. Tell us a little bit about your schedule.
Yeah, it actually is pretty cool because we've added those 6 teams east of us. We've always struggled to try to get a full load in 20 years, we've struggled to fill our schedule because flying in and out of Montana is really expensive. Driving to or from Montana is a long distance if you're not coming from Montana. And so it was hard to get home games, and it was really expensive to do away games. So to fill our schedule has really been the chore the last 20 years. Adding these 6 teams gives us 22 matches during conference, and 11 of those will be at home. That's significant. That's a huge change in my 20 years here. We're excited about not having to work as hard at filling the schedule. Our schedule is full. I can't add another game. We have one exhibition, and that's against Montana. And we're going to be, fortunate enough to play that with the full schedule that we have. So, yeah, we are in Butte for a tournament. We go out to Corbin University for a tournament, and then we are in conference play the rest of the year.
That sounds like it should be fun. A relief, I guess, from your perspective too, and the scheduling issue. Well, fun as it is, and I know it's not going to be an easy road, but it's still from the perspective of scheduling and on your back right there to get that done makes it a little bit easier. You get to concentrate a little more on volleyball now than all of the other trappings that go along with it. Well, thank you so much for taking time, and it should be a fun year for the Saints. I mean it this time. It should be a fun year for the Saints, fun year for the fans, I would imagine, to get to watch you all play. So we appreciate it. Coach Maureen Boyle with Carroll, thank you so much again for previewing the Saints with us this year.
Thanks so much.